Kenyan nurses to the United Kingdom. The King and the President RUTO will also seek to enhance trade volumes between the two countries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And it's my pleasure to meet you again.
Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning. How are you? You're well?
The President also met the Japanese ambassador to Kenya, Ken Okaniwa, who delivered a message from Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. President RUTO lauded Japan for funding Kenya's infrastructure projects in health, agriculture and education, among others. The head of state said Kenya has created a conducive business environment that has attracted 104 Japanese companies to the country.
Ambassador, how are you? Very good. Hello, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good morning. Welcome to Nairobi. Thank you.
Later, President RUTO held talks with Austrian Federal Minister for Labour and Economy, Dr. Martin Kcse, who was accompanied by the Austrian business community. Now, the two leaders explored ways to increase trade volumes, expand markets for Kenya's agricultural products, and enhance labour migration. President RUTO observed that Kenya can learn valuable lessons from Austria's healthcare as the government adopts preventive and promotive healthcare. President RUTO appealed to the Austrian business community to explore investment opportunities in ICT, special economic zones, water and health sectors.
How are you? Fine.
Nice to see you again.
How are you? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much for receiving us.
No, thank you very much. Before you do a state visit to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Amazing.
The President also met Her Majesty Queen Maxima of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, who is also the United Nations Secretary General Special Advocate for Inclusive Finance for Development. The discussions focused on exploiting untapped trade and investment opportunities in the two nations. President RUTO expressed Kenya and the Netherlands' commitment to strengthening collaboration in agriculture, renewable energy and climate action. He said Kenya and the Netherlands are jointly working towards the achievement of sustainable development goals. Now, the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education has commenced today, with candidates sitting for their practical papers first. Now, the national exam is set to run till November 24th, ending with physics practicals. And as Stanley Lugaria reports, 903,260 candidates registered for this year's Kcse, with NEC warning against exam malpractice.
The long-awaited Kenya Certificate of Secondary Examinations, which will see more than 900,000 high school candidates sit for the national exams, has officially kicked off, with arts practicals being the order of the day for the students to demonstrate their prowess in various fields, among them music studies, foreign languages including French, German and Arabic, and finally Kenyan Sign Language. The Kenya National Examination Council has deployed over 1,700 officers to maintain vigilance and cases of malpractices during this year's examinations countrywide, sending stern warning to center managers against participating in exam cheating by sharing the exam details with unauthorized individuals. The council has called on stakeholders to be careful and stick to the rules and regulations, warning that those who are found culpable will be punished in accordance to Section 27 of the laws governing the council, signaling that whoever is found guilty will serve a prison term of not less than 10 years or a fine not exceeding 2.2 million shillings. More than 3.5 million students are candidates at the three levels, including 1.2 million under the CBC curriculum of Kenya Primary School Education Assessment Kcse, 1 candidates for KCPE, and more than 900,000 are sitting for their Kcse exams. Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Lugaria, for that particular report. Away from that, speaking after opening the Lawyers' Conference of the Commonwealth Association of Legislative Council in Mombasa, AG Muturi is calling for more staff in the judiciary, saying that most of their offices are understaffed.
Attorney General Justin Muturi has said that there is a need for his office to be staffed due to the current situation being experienced of understaffing.
Kuna uhaba wa wafanyikazi, mawakili wale niko nao pale katika ofisi ya mkuu wa sheria ni hata hawajafika nusu ya wale ambao hata watu wanaitwa Public Service Commission walipeana nafasi mwaka wa 2020. Mpaka sasa hatujafikia half ya wale tunahitaji. An office like the one here in Mombasa, ukijua wale wanasheria niko na hapa ni chache sana. Hapa natakiwa kuwa na karibu wanasheria kama 20, 30-20 kwa sababu ya kazi zile ziko hapa. Wale wako hapa kila wakati ikiwapigia simu unakuta mtu usiku bado asoma tu. Mtu mmoja anakalia faili kama 400.
Muturi mentioning that it has been difficult for the employees to efficiently work due to the large amount of work in the offices. He has revealed that he has been permitted to open offices in all the 47 counties, mentioning that this will help in reaching the people on time. However, he has said that strategies have been put in place to ensure that Kenyans are getting their services on schedule.
I'm rolling out, we're only in 13 regions in Kenya. But 3 months ago, I got cabinet approval to establish in every county the office of the Attorney General. So because it's devolution, I firmly believe in devolution. So kama tuna devolve, kwa sababu najua kipengele cha chita kinasema every national state organ must devolve its services to the lowest possible level. So the office of the Attorney General needs to devolve.
Nevertheless, Muturi has mentioned that it is in order for Kenyans going to court to protest on various issues since it's their democratic right. Having said that, he holds a different opinion towards public participation, and he argues that
even our own judiciary, if you ask them what is enough public participation, they will not tell you what is enough. One judge will say this, another one will say the other. In many advanced democracies, all that they do, they put something on their websites. It is deemed that the public has been given notice that there is this legislative proposal or government has intentions of coming up with this kind of policy. Do you have anything you wish to say?
Ruga Ival, Lookuptv.
All right, down at the National Assembly Committee on Finance and National Planning was today listening to presentations of 3 bills, which include insurance professional bills and the financial market conduct bill and the public finance bill. Let's listen into what happened.
The National Assembly Department Committee on Finance and National Planning, led by Member of Parliament Kimani Kuria, has today rejected a bill that seeks to reduce the period of presentation of the Auditor General report from 3 months to 1 month on grounds that it was unrealistic for an auditor report to be presented within 1 month, as the law provides up to 6 months for the reports to be presented.
And Constitution 2294 says within 6 months after the end of each financial year, the Auditor General shall audit and report in respect of that financial year.
However, the committee considered adopting the Insurance Profession Bill that seeks to provide professional legislative framework, noting that there are a lot of risk in insurance and therefore insurance personnel should be regulated.
I think it's very important we tighten this kind of thing, and the chair actually we should even propose some penalties on this, so that at least if somebody really make somebody to sign, because see, when you are going to get a loan, you are actually under distress somehow, and somebody should not bring you that distress to your future distress. So I think to me this is a very good bill, and really we should look at it, and we need to improve where we fail. We need to improve it so that we can tell some of these things. Thank you.
And on the Financial Market Conduct Bill seeking to establish a fair and non-discriminatory market, the committee adopted the bill, adding that this will bring about sustainable competition, promote financial inclusion, and protect retail financial customers.
The work in terms of their budget. And Makiu Kenyans, we have a lot of Kenyans who are trained, well trained and equipped. I mean, if at all we have to meet, because the work is enormous in Kenya, even to that office, even with that 1 month, believe you me, they still go through a lot of challenges in delivering on time. Don't you think they need to change now, project? Look at, can they staff it well?
Mavin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Now, there was drama at the PAG church in Ebushiwo in Lurambi constituency, where church members took to the streets protesting the transfer of their pastor following what they term as differences with the overseer. Now, the members have accused the overseer, Wycliffe Atundu, of abuse of office, saying that he has transferred over 20 bishops and pastors
for the same reason.
They are up in arms protesting the transfer of their pastor. The argument, politics is at play where her transfer is uncalled for.
Sisi tuende kwake apatikane kwa ofisi, sababu wakati sisi tumefuatilia, mimi kama secretary wa kanisa, kwa sababu nina haki ya kujua mambo fulani, nilimpigia mchungaji nikamuuliza, nasikia hii na hii na hii, ni ukweli? Na nyinyi kama board members wa kamati ya district, mmepitia haya, mmeangazia?
Hakuna wakati tuliitwa kama viongozi wa kanisa kuenda kwa kiongozi mwenye anashikilia district ya kwamba anafanya uhamisho wa mchungaji. Hatujapata any official communication. Ni fununu tu.
The members of the PAG church are now accusing the local overseer Wycliffe Andotu for allegedly demanding a chicken and 8,000 shillings from their parish pastor Mary Luvembe.
Overseer aliambia mapastor wote kila overseer pastor amlete shilingi 8,000 na kuku. So vile hawako make hizo conditions ndio maana wameambiwa waende wapi? Wahamishwe. Constitution ya PAG ama katiba ya PAG inasema ya kwamba uhamisho wa mchungaji unafanywa chini ya overseer na viongozi wakuu wa hiyo assembly. Na ina state inasema ya kwamba wakae chini waongee. So we as the people of Bushivo tunasema ya kwamba hatuna njia nyingine, tunataka Mary arudi wapi? Bushivo.
The members have accused Andotu of abusing his powers by intimidating others, saying so far 20 bishops and pastors besides Mary Luvembe have been transferred over the same reason since he was ordained as the area overseer.
Overseer anajua anaenda kukula mwereka. Sasa anarudisha anatafuta wachungaji wenye watampigia nini? Kura. Hiyo ndio iko nyuma hiyo maneno. We are demanding for our pastor. Sisi hatuna shida na mchungaji wetu. Kama hakuna Mary, hakuna Nyang'ori. Kama hakuna Mary, hakuna wilaya. Kama hakuna Mary, hakuna center. Mchakato wote ni district overseer.
Regan Lemegran, Lookuptv.
Kwa kauli moja, hatutaki mchungaji mwingine kama sio Mary.
Okay, the demand for Mary. Okay, now overseer anataka kuku ade. We want to take a short break here on the Spotlight. We'll be back with more, including a feature on Cancer Warrior, because we are marking Breast Cancer Awareness Month, all right? Also, the disability is not inability. We have so much for you when we come back from this break. Thank you for staying with us here on the Spotlight. Now, in a bid to fortify food security within Machakos, the county government of Machakos took a significant step by distributing 130 tons of assorted certified seeds at 254 modern beehives with honey extracting equipment to over 144,000 beneficiaries across Machakos County. Now, the event, which was graced by Machakos County Governor Wavinya Ndeti, saw the seeds ceremoniously flagged off in trucks to 86 designated collection points.
Through the Department of Agriculture, Food Security and Cooperative Development, we have procured seeds which will reach the targeted farmers within the shortest time possible beginning today. Today, we are giving another 110 tons and 12 tons from FAO. If our farmers will adopt the appropriate crop management practice, this investment is likely to bring a return of close to 1 billion shillings in our local agriculture and value chain. Our holistic approach to the Chakula Mezani, Pesa Mfukoni, socio-economic transformation agenda has seen all our departments, stakeholders, and partners join forces to accelerate the execution of one of the most innovative strategies to eradicate poverty among our people. Mbegu sasa zinatoka leo. Mumeona niko na 110 tons za mbegu hapa za kupelekea wetu mashinani waende wakapande. Na zikienda kwa wards, ninauliza watu wetu, tafadhali msiuze mbegu. Hakuna mbegu katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. There is a shortage. Kuna shortage ya mbegu. Na sisi kupata hizi mbegu haikuwa kazi rahisi. Kwa hivyo mwende mwambie wakulima
A decreasing number of students living with disability who complete their education continues to be a major threat to the Ministry of Education, as these students lack birth certificates for registration by National Education Management Information System. Director of Invest and Grow Sacco, Ludwiga Mudaki, also noted that most students are equipped with suitable skills that will enable them to be self-reliant in future.
As I approach St. Ursula's Chamakanga Special School in Vihiga County, thoughts linger in my mind, wondering what challenges these students face. Despite the challenges they might be facing, on my arrival, I'm impressed by the level of skills portrayed by the students who are able to do multiple things, amongst them crochet mats, bottle arts and beaded pieces. These students are able differently. However, many of them, not only here but across the country, fail to complete their education due to lack of school fees, considering that many miss out on this free education program provided by the Ministry of Education due to lack of birth certificates, which is one of the requirements. Despite them enrolling in special school, the number keeps on going down, with parents blamed for failing to register their children so as to acquire birth certificates, which is required during the registration of students by the Kenya National Examination Council. Nora Shabaya, a parent at Chamakanga, acknowledges the school for its big contribution in ensuring the kids are able to gain knowledge, with his own child able to speak despite not being able to do so initially.
Huyu ndio mtoto wangu, nilimleta hapa kama ako mdogo sana, lakini amekuwa mkubwa na shukuru sana. Huyu mtoto hakuwa anaongea, hakuwa anafanya kazi yoyote, lakini kama ako nyumbani ananisaidia kila kitu.
Growth Ina Mudaki called upon parents to take up the task to register their children to avoid their education.
Hawa watoto licha ya changamoto wako nayo, hawa watoto wanaweza kufanya kazi ambayo inapendeza. Tumetembea, tumeona weaving yao vile wamefanya, tumeona kazi mbalimbali vile wamefanya, na sisi kama IG tunawatia tu moyo wazazi wa hawa watoto. Mwalimu mkuu amesema hawa watoto wanapitia changamoto, hawana birth certificates, hawapitii kwa NEMIS. Na tunajua ya kwamba mtoto asipopitia kwa NEMIS, huyo mtoto ni kama hana kitambulisho.
Ivy Wangulu, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Wangulu, for that report. Cancer in women is one of the leading causes of death in Kenya. Majority of those women affected by the disease are mothers, career women, employees, or small business owners. So the impact is felt on their families, the wider community, and on Kenya's economy. As we mark Breast Cancer Awareness Month, here is a story of a survivor who is now championing for her initiative to give women an identity that has been robbed by cancer.
Most people think that breast cancer, everyone will experience symptoms. Funny enough, I didn't experience any symptoms.
She was out with her friends back in 2011, a get-together in the streets of Nairobi, not knowing that as she went on living her life, she would later be diagnosed with a disease that will change the course of her life. Eunice says she walked in to have a test not because she was worried she could be carrying a disease with her, but because it wouldn't hurt to take a test. As far as she was concerned, there was no indicator that she was sick, let alone with breast cancer.
I had gone for a breast cancer awareness. It was being held by one of the major hospitals. I can't remember which one. But I went with a group of my friends. We were literally just after campus where you meet up and do stuff like that. So it was during that particular month, and everyone, when we were talking, they're like, "Oh, I've never had a screening. I've never had a screening." So I was like, "Oh," because they were passing flyers, I think so, in the streets of Nairobi. That one I can remember, close to Jivanji Gardens. So we decided, oh, because we have the flyer, let's not walk towards this screening center and have a screening done.
It was a walk-in that would later give a diagnosis that needed more tests to ascertain what was wrong.
What do you mean I need to see a doctor? Okay, they were like, oh, we discovered something in your breast, but it is not like what we normally look out for when we determine that a breast has a mass. Yours is more like jelly-like, moving around. It's not stationary and it's not hard. We would like our doctor to look at it deeper.
She, however, did not act on it immediately. Weeks passed and she found herself on the corridors of a health facility, leading to now a professional opinion.
I believe either was visiting someone in hospital or doing something within the hospital compound that I decided, oh, I had this prescription that was meant to be, or I had a consult that I had to go in for. So I took it and went there, and the doctor there was like, oh, I'll need to do a scan. I was like, I don't have money for a scan. So it started with a lot of tests, which finally concluded that I had breast cancer. So, and that also included removing of the whole cyst, as they were seeing in the scans, from my breast during a day surgery, and it going for biopsy and then coming back having the results, and lo and behold, you're being told you have breast cancer from a simple walk-in.
The reality of a disease that most times has been termed as the end was dawning on her. Seeking treatment needed to be done immediately.
The immediate reaction that I had, when are we starting treatment? Until the doctor was concerned. Did she actually understand what I said? Because no, he was concerned. Are we dealing with a case of denial? Yeah. So he was like, no, you do this, go home, think about it. I was like, no, give me the treatment plan. So he was shocked. And he gave me the treatment plan, and then I called my brother, and he came to pick me up from the doctor's clinic. I think when I saw my brother, it just now actually dawned on me. This is what is going to happen to my life moving forward. And then I cried like a child. Because I think now the shock kind of hit me. And now you're thinking, I've had cancer. People die from cancer. So am I amongst them? You're already counting yourself into that group.
Her family worried traditional medicine's ideas were not off the table.
So you can imagine no one had time until I think so when I was admitted, when everyone sat and now had to think. Then that's when it started dawning on everyone. Do you know this is going to change all our lives? We have to think of who will be the caregiver, who will be going with her to the hospital, who will be making sure that they get the right information from the doctors and it's the right thing that is being given to her. So everyone, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because that's when we had all this other conventional medicine or traditional medicine going around. There was the trip people were making to Loliondo. You remember that? Everyone was like, no, let's wait. Let's go to Loliondo. Even people who are learned were like, let's.
At the age of 28, her journey had changed as she decided to go through surgery. Undergoing mastectomy robbed her of what she terms as her identity as a woman.
Because in the beginning, I went in as a whole woman into a hospital. And then you're coming back without a feature within your body that represents you as a woman. And that was one of my breasts. So I felt like it took away my femininity in the beginning. But with time, I have grown to accept myself and my new lifestyle. Yeah? And now I know I'm more than a woman. It doesn't just take my features, but that's what it took in the beginning.
Recovery for Eunice was tedious, as expected for any patient with a life-threatening disease. Her fears did come to life whenever she was left alone. Chemotherapy, an experience that she says was too much for her.
Chemo is an experience. Until today, I cannot explain or describe it. Because you do not even know what you experienced yourself. You don't know if you felt pain, if you don't know if you felt confused, you don't know, because it just attacks your body. And it attacks your body in the sense that you even lose your sense of thinking. So it just attacks your body, but it only takes like 7 days. And then after that you're well, and then you're thinking, I'm going back again for that whole process to happen.
However, in all the struggles, her motivating factor was the people around her.
My faith, I'm a Christian, born and raised, so my faith also kept me actually looking forward for tomorrow. Yeah? And then finally, your family, you look at their faces, you're like, I have to get well. You cannot break these people's hearts. So it also drives you. You don't notice it in the beginning, but it...
As the sun sets in the city, Eunice is on a mission to light up the world of those who are unfortunate to walk in her shoes, using breast prosthetics to give women what cancer burden has robbed them.
Artificial breast or breast prosthesis are used to bring just balance to the chest area, just also to prevent secondary conditions. Because when someone slouches, even when you sit on your laptop for too long, you'll notice you start experiencing pains. So you can imagine the effect that is happening on the upper back. So they need that balance. Height, number one, and also slouching can be caused by the weight of the remaining breasts. If both breasts were removed, fine. But if just one was removed and the other one, you'll find that the body kind of gravitates towards that side of the body or the other side of the body that was left with. So you'll find the body just shifts. And then that causes a lot of secondary issue.
In 2022, the Ministry of Health said breast cancer ranks second in all deaths caused by cancer. Breast cancer accounts for 3,107 deaths, making it the second leading cause of all cancer deaths in the country. 7 women die every day in Kenya as a result of breast cancer. Brian Amuai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
All right, now time for our second break here on the Spotlight. We'll be back in a few with also another feature on matters real estate. So don't go too far. Now, the Senate County Public Accounts, the Senate Public Accounts Committee, SIPAC, has slammed Machakos County over funds misappropriation. Let's take a look.
The Senate County Public Accounts Committee, led by Homa Bay Senator Moses Kajwang, on Monday, while considering the Auditor General reports for the 2019-2020 and 2020-2021 financial years, faulted Machakos County Assembly for misuse of public funds of up to 10 million shillings meant for the pending bills by directing the allocation to operations.
And then you went and used it for operations, means mandazi, tea and coffee.
Okay, it was not mandazi and tea, but other operations like insurance.
Coming back to the same Senate
to ask for money,
when we should now be talking of 10 million pending bills if they paid the 37.
Machakos Senator Agnes Kavindo faulted the county officials for redirecting and misappropriating money meant for developments into wrongful and malicious projects, at some point angered by county officials insisting that she will visit the county assembly to address issues at hand.
Gave out money to pay all the pending bills in the counties. Was the county assemblies involved in this, and did you get any allocations from the executive for pending bills?
The Senate questioned why the county spent over 6 million shillings as legal representation fee on a single matter at hand, as the county representatives remained mum.
Commitments to payment of pending bills. And from what we are seeing here, that there's still a problem in Machakos. In fact, you will see a related problem with what we saw with the executive. Because out of the 47 million that is listed here as outstanding, 37 million of that is legal fees. Clerk, is that a fact? Yeah, that's true. Out of the 47 million, 37 million is legal fees owed to 2 law firms.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
All right, now let's take a look at the news from the counties. All right.
To keep up with the trend in the education industry, technical vocational education training institutions and polytechnics in the country have been urged to retool their curriculum to align with the current and future industrial needs. Dr. Eusebius Juma Muhwana, the Principal Secretary for the State Department of Industry in the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry, indicated that the fast evolving trends in technology and industrial revolution necessitated Kenyan TVETs and polytechnics to revise, rescale and remodify their training programs.
We want to go beyond agro processing. So it doesn't mean that if you are in Nakuru, that we can only talk about pyrethrum and maybe wheat and maize, but we can also start to think about other things. We can make nails, roofing nails, we can do barbed wire, we can do chain link, we can make jembes, we can make pangas, lashers. So we want to go beyond there. So as we think about the value chains, it will be good also wheelbarrows, so that we are able to move.
The county government of Narok County has proposed the construction of an international airport in Narok Town to curb air pollution in Masai Mara Game Reserve. Speaking during the opening of the KAG Church in Narok Town, Governor Patrick Ntutu said that the construction of the airport will create more job opportunities to the residents.
Tunapambana tuone kama tutajenga hii Oloisi Usu International Airport. Na lengo na madhumuni yangu ni kwamba tunaweza namna gani kutoa wale wazungu wote wanaendaga huko Mara, so that tunafunga zile airstrip ambayo wako nazo huko, kwa sababu zimekuwa ni kelele nyingi kwa wanyama. Sasa kila mtu akitoka Ulaya kwanza anapiga stop Narok. Akipiga stop Narok, kwa sababu wa vijana wetu wale wa Mara, wale wako na macruisers, watakuwa watapata kitu inaitwa dropping and picking.
And finally, in Kirinyaga County, the Health Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni has urged the residents, both men and women, to go for cancer screening and keep off illicit brews. She also urged the leaders from the area to put in place adequate strategies to curb the alarming rate of increased illicit brew dens in the region.
And this is a call to every woman across the country. This is Breast Cancer Month. That we go for those who would wish
who would go for mammogram. It is the month that you need to check and ensure that screening is done thoroughly.
Lookuptv.
Now to matters business. Kenyan real estate company Superior Homes plans to list on Nairobi Security Exchange by the year 2027. According to Chief Executive Officer Shiva Arora, a track record of profitability in the business for the past 20 years has positioned the company as among the most successful in the region. Simba Elijah has the details.
While celebrating its 20th anniversary in real estate business in the country, Superior Homes has made the announcement that they have commenced the journey to listing on the Nairobi Securities Exchange by the year 2027. This, according to the Chief Executive Officer, Shiva Arora, is backed by the success they've enjoyed in the business over the years.
It's more just a track record of profitability. Superior Homes has very vanilla accounting. We don't have, we don't revalue our assets or anything. We're just a pure profitable real estate developer. And I think by coming into the market with a developer that's got a track record of profit, a track record of delivery, people have been living in our houses for 20 years. I think that for us is key to come into the market. A strong pipeline, 4 to 5 different developments, each of them doing, good sales numbers. That to us would be key.
With their flagship master plan Wing Park Estate in Athriva enjoying 100% occupancy, Mr. Arora has announced plans to start similar projects across the country that will give Kenyans an opportunity to invest.
Yeah, no, we definitely want to. You'll definitely be seeing projects coming up between now and 2027. Yeah. We're also looking, like I mentioned, here in Athi River, Kcse area, because this is a market we know well. We're considering, your Juja, Ruiru, Thika Road, Eastern Bypass. These are areas that are all opening up with new infrastructure developments. They're attractive for us. Thika, the counties continue to be attractive for us. Maybe not 160 acres in the counties, but definitely smaller developments, but well-governed, well-designed master plan estates.
She further added that the company will from now till 2027 expand their portfolio to take advantage of the available spaces within the real estate sector, with its latest brainchild being Superstop in Makueni, a project the CEO says will be replicated in other parts of the country.
We have hospitality, we have obviously real estate, residential development, which is our core, and we now have Superstop as well. So we're working with our agency experts as well, just to see sort of what's the brand that will resonate most. But ultimately, Superior Homes is a strong brand in the market. People associate with it. People associate with our logo. People associate with our developments. So how do we continue to push that message out is going to be crucial from the end of this year.
He further adds that the real estate sector in the country will continue to see a rise in prices owing to the current market factors like taxation and a fall of the Kenyan shilling against the greenback. For Lookup News, Simba Elijah Charles Kiage.
All right, now let's get sporty tonight. The Kenya national hockey team is in South Africa in preparation for the upcoming 2024 Olympic Games qualifiers. Now, currently, Kenya is playing Phoenix Kcse in a friendly, then tackling Northern Blues tomorrow, and they will finally lock horns with Kcse Kcse on Wednesday. Right, 44 minutes past the hour, we've come to the end of our bulletin tonight here, and I want to thank you so much for making time for this bulletin. But before we do that, let me just, Pablo Moja says, watching from Ruiru, thank you so much for always tuning in. Then we have, I believe this is Ledama Ezekiel, says Ongata Narok, well represented. Thank you so much for tuning in and trusting us to bring you up to date with the news making headlines across the country here on the Spotlight tonight. Yes, my name is not Ian Ketani, I know you're saying that, but my name is Brian Amwaya, sitting in for Ian Ketani. Let's do this again next time. I see you tomorrow on the bottom. Right? Good night. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Josephine Ouko. On behalf of everyone that made it a success, my director Jeremy, all the way to the digital team, I do want to wish you a lovely night. Good night.